Yo, checkered mates, this is Ivan P. How's everyone doing? This is Croatia versus Denmark post-game show, and what do we have here? What do we have here? Croatia beating Denmark once again, 2-1. Now, this is Denmark that everyone considered a dark horse. A dark horse for the next upcoming World Cup, a dark horse for the Nations League, and guess what? We just beat them 2-1. And we just beat them a second time in a row. We beat them at their house 1-0, and then we beat them in Zagreb 2-1. And, you know, everybody keeps underestimating Croatia. I've been watching YouTube, I've been watching all the comments on Twitter, all the World Cup predictions, all the Nations League predictions. Nobody ever talks about Croatia. They're always the forgotten team for some reason. Why? We just beat Denmark twice, which is a top 10 European team, maybe even a top 10 worldwide team. And we beat France not too long ago in France, in Paris, 1-0. So we just beat two of the top teams in the world in the last 3 months. And still, everyone is underestimating Croatia. Hell, we even made it to the finals of a World Cup in 2018, and still everyone underestimates Croatia. But you know what? That's great. Keep underestimating us. Keep putting us as dark horses, and we're always going to surprise, because I'm telling you guys, this team has something. There's something special about this team, and we've seen it in the last 3 games. Our defense is solid. Our midfield is world-class. We might be missing, that world-class striker, but you know what? Just watching them play yesterday, watching them dominate most of the game against Denmark, again, which is one of the top teams in the world. And for us, it was just another day at the office. You know, it was just amazing to watch these guys play, these young guys that infiltrated the team. And that's another thing. A couple of months ago, not even a couple of months ago, most recently, a lot of people have been doing, like I said, World Cup predictions and saying Croatia is an old team. But take a look at our roster right now. Look at the back end, the back 4. These are all young guys. These are all rookies in the national team. We got Gvardiol, Sosa, Juranovic, now Šutalo, Erlic. These are all young guys in their 20s, early 20s, mid-20s. Our oldest guy, okay, we have Perisic and Modric, who are a little bit older, but that's it. All the rest of the team is super young guys, talented, like crazy. Anyways, we're going to keep being the underdog, that's fine, and we're going to keep proving people wrong. Anyways, let's get down to the breakdown of the match, all right? We played in Zagreb, we played in Maksimir. It's been a while we didn't play there. It's been about 2 years that the national team hasn't played at Maksimir. So let's look at the lineups first. Who lined up for Croatia here? We got the starting lineup in the front with Kramaric, Perisic on the left. We had Pasalic on the right, Kovacic, Modric, and Brozovic in the middle. Borna Sosa, Gvardiol, Šutalo, Juranovic in the defense, and Livakovic in nets. So, what do I think about that lineup? I think the lineup is perfect, except maybe for Pasalic on the right. I feel like it doesn't fit on the right side. Maybe somebody like a Meyer, or maybe even a Perisic on the right, would have been a better fit. And maybe Orsic on the left, and then Perisic on the right. Maybe I would have preferred that, but you know what? I'm not complaining because we won. Pasalic, I find he's a better false number 9, or even a striker maybe. But on the right side, I felt like at times there was missing a player on the right side because it just wasn't there. He would sometimes he would get stuck too much in the back. Sometimes he was in the middle. I just find that the right side was a little bit of a weaker side. But I think at the end of the day, Pasalic did what he had to do. He played a solid game, and I just don't think he's a natural right wing. It's true we don't have the best options for the right side. Like I said, we might have Meyer, and Perisic has played on the right as well. So maybe those are better options. So I'm looking forward to see what other options Dalic is going to come up with on the right side. Who else? We got Brozovic, Modric, Kovacic in the midfield, you can't ask for a better midfield. I mean, this is world class. This is probably one of the best midfields in the world. Perfect. He played a great game. You saw Kovacic just gliding through players all game, missing that one shot he took on net, which was, he had a breakaway and he just deked a couple of players and then took a shot. Unfortunately, went way off, but it just shows that Kovacic has been going forward, which is great to see. Modric, the magician, as always, played a solid game. A solid game. He was probably man of the match. He controlled. He's the maestro, right? He controls everything. The whole tempo of the team, and he did it again. I mean, just incredible. There's not enough words to describe Modric. He's the best. Brozovic was solid. He made a couple of weird passes, a couple of mistakes, but Brozovic still solid. He had a couple of nice shots on net, so it was really good. And then we had the defense. Borna Sosa, he was flying on that left side, man, and those nice crisp crosses and those passes, and obviously his beautiful goal. His beautiful goal. When he scored in the, I know it was second half. He scored in the 49th minute, so right a little bit after the start of the second half. And that beautiful goal, I think it was after a corner kick, and he was just waiting outside the box, and the ball came up to him, and he just took that low shot right to the left of the goalie of Schmeichel, and it was such a beautiful goal. I jumped out of my seat because I was so happy, because I couldn't wait for Sosa to score his first national team goal, and he did. And what a time to score a goal against Denmark for the Nations League. So Sosa with a solid game. Then we have Guardiola, really solid on defense, getting those headers, defending well, advancing. He's pushing the pace forward, which I love. He's not passing backwards to the goalie. He's always going forward passes. Really good tempo. Really loved what I saw from Guardiola yesterday. And same thing for Schutalo. I mean, he did make that one mistake which cost us the goal, but that's fine. Defenders make mistakes all the time. You can't be 100% all the time. But Schutalo had a solid game. I just love how our defense is playing. We're not letting any passes go through. And even the air balls, we're heading them out. It's great. We're not giving much chances to Denmark. Denmark did have a couple of chances, but there were nothing serious. And because our defense was so solid, all of his chances were kind of half chances, because our defense was blocking the angles and blocking shots really well. Then we have Juranovic. I like Juranovic. He's quick. He's that quick guy on the wings, and maybe he's not the best defender because he's kind of small, but he's quick. His passes are nice and crisp, and I was really happy with his performance and his crosses. His crosses were pretty good too. And then we have Livakovic in nets. Livakovic was solid. Made a two or three key saves in that game. There's couple of nice shots from Denmark, from Eriksson actually, and Livakovic, and there was a deflection off Guardiola, and Livakovic really did a good job in saving that shot. And there was also a Denmark player that was one-on-one against Livakovic. He took a shot, and Livakovic saved it. So you know what? A lot of people are ragging on Livakovic, but I thought he was solid yesterday. And I have more and more confidence in Livakovic, and I'm really happy that he's our number one goaltender. He plays really good for Dinamo. He plays Champions League soccer. He's been seeing a lot of action, and he's not terrible. I think he's a really good young goalie. So I'm really happy he's with us, and I'm happy that we got only, if you think about it, we only had, in the last 4 games, I think we just let in 2 goals. So that speaks a lot about our defense and our goalies. Just looking quick, the player ratings. We got Modric with a 4.7. he was, once again, he was a magician. Like I said, he controlled the game, and he just does it all. He's everywhere. He's everywhere on the pitch. It's unbelievable. And let's not forget about the subs. We had Meyer that came in and scored within a minute or two after coming on. And it's funny because you think about it, and we have Modric, who's getting a little bit older, and we wonder how long he's going to stay with the Croatian national team. He's 37, and then we have a player like Meyer that just looks exactly like Modric in size and his stature. He looks exactly like Modric. It's like it's a copy of him. So it's like, okay, we're losing Modric, but here's Meyer. He's like a copy of Modric. It's hilarious. And Meyer's a fantastic player, and he showed it yesterday. He was on the field for a couple minutes, and he scored with a beautiful shot outside the box. Will Meyer be as good as Modric one day? Who knows? He's a young player. He still has a long career ahead of him. But from what we've seen so far, from what we've seen at Rennes, he's going to be world class, in my opinion. I think so. Meyer is going to be a world class player. Mark it down. Meyer's going to be world class. Just like Sosa and Guardiola. Those three players are going to be world class, and they're our future. And it's exciting because they're not only our future, they're our present as well. So our national team we have a serious team, guys. We have a really serious contender, in my opinion. And I'm not just being overly excited just because we beat Denmark and then we beat France. We really have a solid team. If we just have that one striker that's constant, that one real striker, one real number 9, who knows? We could win everything all the time because the talent is there. And it's cool to see that the team has bonded, actually. Not like at the last Euros where we saw a bit of a disconnect with certain players and the coach. Now I really feel like there's good momentum and there's good chemistry. And we see the HNS and their branding of Obitel, family, and it's true. I mean, I really feel like this team is really tight. There's a bond between them. That's what I feel like, and it's good to see. And that's what we need for the World Cup. So who else we got? We got Meyer that has a 4.1 score. We got Brozovic who has a 4, which I agree. Borna Sosa with a solid game with a 4. Even Perisic 3.8. Now even Perisic, he was on the left. For some reason, I felt like he looked a little tired yesterday. He looked a little tired. Maybe it's been the season at Tottenham. English league is not easy. Perisic, like I said, he wasn't at his best yesterday. I felt like there was a couple of, of chances he could have maybe passed the ball instead of deking the player, or maybe I don't know. Perisic, he was okay, but he didn't really contribute in an effective way, I find, and maybe just needs some rest. We'll see. But Perisic is Perisic. He'll be back. He'll be back stronger than ever. I think he caught a bit of a bump at the end of the game. He looked a little hurt. I hope he's okay. But he's our superstar, so I really hope he's going to be okay, and he plays against Austria the next game. Scores a couple of goals. I'd love to see that. But we have Livakovic with a 3.8 score. I thought he was solid. Could he have saved that shot from Eriksson? That was a beautiful shot. That was a beautiful goal from Eriksson. You got to give credit where credit is due. It was a curving shot, and it went in top right corner, I believe. Livakovic, I don't think he could have done anything. I mean, some people say, maybe if he positioned himself a little bit better, he could have saved it. But look, it was a world-class player taking a world-class shot. It's really hard to save. So it would have been 50-50, right? And it just went in. Orsic came in a little bit later in the match. You saw his speed and you saw his passing which was, it's always refreshing to see Orsic because he's so quick, and I just love Orsic, and I just hope that he gets a little bit more playing time. Hopefully, they figure out how to play him and Perisic at the same time, even though they play at the same position. Maybe have Perisic on the right, Orsic on the left, have them like switch sides during the game, back and forth. That could be interesting. But I really want to see Orsic. He's been on fire after he scored against Chelsea, and he's always been a solid player. And him and Petkovic, that's another player that comes up. Petkovic, they link up really well together, him and Orsic. So if we could figure out how these two could play together, and maybe even start the game and see what happens, because they've been playing awesome with Dinamo. We saw it in the Champions League, so I'd love to see it translate in the National League, especially when you have Modric and Kovacic and Brozovic feeding you balls, and you have Sosa with the crosses. Petkovic is really tall. I'm sure he could get those headers. So I'd love to see Petkovic up front, Orsic on the left, and Perisic on the right. I think it would be a good combination to try. I know Dalic said, we're not going to touch Perisic. He plays on the left. That's where he plays the best, which is logical. Obviously, you want to put the best players in the best positions. But it's too bad. Orsic, his talent is being wasted. Not wasted, but we're not seeing him play more. And I think these are his prime years. So I'd love to see what Orsic can do for the national team as well. And Petkovic too. Petkovic is an up and down player. I find some games he's pretty quiet and slow. In some games he's really playing hard, and he's doing these incredible digs and passes. So I want to see Petkovic become a huge superstar. Honestly, I want to see him be a huge superstar at the World Cup. I want to see him. I want the World Cup to be a breakout tournament for a couple of players. I want it to be a breakout player for Petkovic. Orsic doesn't need it because he's proving himself in the Champions League. So I want it to be a breakout tournament for Petkovic, and just him scoring a couple of goals, and also Meyer as well. Okay, who else do we have? We have Kramaric. He was playing the striker role. He's always better as a false nine, a false striker, but I think he put a little bit of pressure on the defense, played a good game, but he's a smaller player against taller Danish players. It's kind of tough. There's a couple of passes he kind of missed. I remember there was one cross. Perisic was in the box, and then he just crossed it wide. That's fine. Players are not perfect all the time, but I have faith in Kramaric, but I just don't think that the lone striker up top is the position for him. All right, we have Josip Šutalo with a 3.5, solid defense. Šutalo is a rising star. He made that one mistake, but who cares? We won. Šutalo, a big European team is going to come looking for him really soon. He's a superstar. Juranovic with a 3.5. I love Juranovic. I just love his attitude, the way he plays, as I mentioned earlier. So, just keep pushing, and I think he's going to be our right back for a couple of years. Him and Stanisic. We didn't see Stanisic. He was on the bench. But him and Stanisic are our future right backs, and it's super exciting because it's awesome to have solid defense and solid right backs and left backs. All right, Vlasic came in also. Vlasic came in. He had one break away from a pass from Modric, I believe. He took a shot. It was a low shot to the goalie, but if he would have maybe taken a shot a little bit wider, maybe it would have went in. But you know what? I liked his hustle. I think he played pretty well. I want to see more from Vlasic. I think he has the potential and the talent to be a huge star. It's just that he needs that opportunity, and I'm hoping he does something good for the World Cup. At the World Cup, Vida came in a little bit at the end, in the dying minutes. He didn't do much, but it's fine. So that's it for the players, the ratings. So what's coming up next for Croatia? So right now we're in the first place in Group A with 10 points. Denmark has 9 points, and then we have Austria and France at the bottom. They don't have a chance to finish first. Now it's between Denmark and Croatia. Croatia plays Austria on Sunday. Denmark plays France. All Croatia needs is a tie. Either a tie or a win. Actually, no, sorry. All Croatia needs is for Denmark to lose points against France, and they're in. So let's say Denmark ties, Croatia makes it through to the Final Four. If Denmark loses, automatically we go to the Final Four. Now for us, let's say Denmark wins against France, then we would have to beat Austria. So Austria, we played them in Osijek a couple of months back. We lost 3-0. That was our first game in the Nations League. I think it was just an off day. We dominated the first half. I think we will win it. I think it's going to be a tight game because Austria is a tough team. We're probably going to win 1 or 2-0. And like I said, like in my predictions, guys, check out my other videos. I predicted Croatia to finish first, and then I predicted France to go second, Denmark third. So I was a little wrong with my predictions, but I will stick to my prediction that Croatia is going to finish first, Denmark is going to finish second, and Croatia is going to go in the Final Four. And in the Final Four, actually, we'll make a prediction video with the Final Four after that. But I strongly believe Croatia has a huge chance of not only going to the finals of the Nations League, but also winning the tournament. I said this in my last video, and I strongly believe we're going to go far in the World Cup because we're a solid team. But we might not win the World Cup. If we don't win the World Cup, we will win the Nations League trophy. Mark my words. Now, if we win the World Cup, we might not win the Nations League trophy, or we're going to win both. I'm going to stick to those predictions. Croatia is going to finish on top, and then we'll see who's going to be in the Final Four, but Croatia definitely is going to be in the Final Four. All right, so that was Croatia versus Denmark, the post-game show. Congrats, Croatia. You played amazing. We dominated the first half. Okay, no, that's not true. We dominated the first 20, 25 minutes. Then Denmark came back, dominated the last 15 minutes. Let's take a look at the stats of the game, actually. Croatia had 12 shots compared to Denmark's 7. Shots on target 4-4. Possession 48%, 52% Denmark, 48% Croatia. Passes, 570 passes for Croatia, 602 passes for Denmark. That's strange because I thought Croatia had a little bit more possession, but I guess that wasn't the case. Croatia had 88% pass accuracy to 85% Denmark, 11 fouls for Croatia, 7 fouls for Denmark. So if you look at these stats, actually it was a pretty close game in terms of ball possession and passing. But you wouldn't think so when you watch the game. You would actually think that Croatia dominated the first 25 minutes, and then Denmark kind of came back for the last 15 minutes. The second half, Croatia started strong, dominated almost the whole second half. There were a couple of parts where Denmark was having counterattacks, but I feel like, in my opinion, even though the stats are not maybe showing it, I think Croatia dominated most of the game. And you can see they have 12 shots, 4 shots on target, but I still feel like Croatia still dominated a little bit more. I feel like they had more possession, even though it says here 52% for Denmark, but hey, whatever. Maybe it's because I'm biased. I don't know. Anyways, so that was the post-game show for Denmark versus Croatia. There's one more thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about our new Nike jerseys that just came out and that Croatia wore for the very first time against Denmark. All right, so let's check out these new jerseys that just came out. It's always exciting, when Croatia gets their new jerseys. So when these jerseys leaked on Footy Headlines, everyone was kind of like disappointed. Everyone was disappointed because they're kind of weird looking. The design was weird. There's missing checkers and stuff. All right, let's take a look at the home jersey first. Right? I'm taking a look on my phone here. From the Nike.com website, we have this model wearing it. You know what? I like it. I like it for some reason, and it looked great on the players yesterday. There's some white space where the checkers aren't, and it fills up really nice when there's a number and then the team, the flags with the date. It fills up really nice in the middle. And it kind of gives me a feel of the 2006, was it 2006? It's just a little bit more round here, just around under the shoulders, on the chest, I mean. And there's some white with the white shorts, white socks. It gives me like a 2006 vibe. If you guys watched the game yesterday, I really felt like Croatia looked like the white horsemen, these white horsemen on the battlefield. They really look nice and clean, and I really like the look. I mean, it's really cool. I like it. I'm definitely going to be buying this jersey. Like I said, I like the little round part here around the chest. I feel like maybe, the design with the checkers, with the white space, could it be like the shape of Croatia maybe? Like, that shape which is like kind of like a C almost? Could that be it? I'm just trying to think what was the concept, behind like just these blocks of checkers that are missing, these blocks of white spaces. I'm just trying to figure out, but I like how the logo is right in the middle with the Nike logo and the HNS logo right in the middle. It's pretty cool. Usually it was on the left side, right, on the left chest. So it's a different design. I mean, I think it looks much better on the players or on a model than just like hanging on a hanger or something. So I think it looked great on the players. I'm happy about it. Like I said, I'll be getting this jersey for sure. All right, let's look at the away jersey. Now, when these first leaked, I was like, what the hell is this? This looks like a training jersey. What is this? It's a blue jersey with some light blue checkers, but they fade out towards the chest with HNS logo on the left chest and the Nike logo on the right side of the chest. Now, when they released these shirts, when they announced them on social media, they had a video package explaining the colors and the design pattern is supposed to represent Croatia, and the sea and the coastal Croatia, and just the colors of the water and the sea and nature. Basically, all the beautiful nature in Croatia. And then I said, okay, maybe that makes sense. It makes a lot more sense. I still wasn't sold because it looks a bit futuristic. I've never seen a jersey like this, not an international jersey. And that might be good. That might be a good thing. So what I did was, I looked at this new jersey, and then I looked at an older Croatian jersey, our past away jerseys. I looked at our last one and the one in 2018. I looked at them for a couple of minutes, and then I went back to this new jersey, and it's shocking. It's shocking how new and fresh this new jersey is. It's like revolutionary. I'm telling you guys, do the same exercise. Look at this jersey, this new one. Look at a picture of it. And then go back, a couple of jerseys. Look at a couple of old away jerseys, the one in 2018 and the one in 2020. Look at them for a couple of minutes, and then go back to this new one, and you're going to see a huge difference. You're going to say, "Wow, it's true! Like this is like a revolutionary new type of jersey, and it really looks cool." We never saw faded parts. It's like three-dimensional faded checkers. We never saw that before on any other jersey. And you look at it now, I'm looking at it right now, and like I said, it looks much better on a player on the Nike.com website than it does on just floating or hanging on a picture or on a rack or something. And I think they're going to be playing in these jerseys against Austria. I think they're going to be wearing blue shorts and I believe blue socks. I'm not sure what the whole kit is going to look like. But you know what? It's refreshing. It's a refreshing jersey, and it's like the blue gives out a sort of like, it's true. It gives like sort of ocean kind of feel, like water, like hope. Yeah, I don't know. Just words coming out of my head right now. Just looking at it, just thinking about this jersey, and you know what? It's refreshing, and it's much lighter than the black jerseys that we had in the past 4 years. You know, the black jerseys with dark blue and the black. This one is much lighter, much happier. You know, much happier. So I think it's good because these are going to be positive years for the Hrvatska, for the national team. It's going to be positive years. So it's a good sign. Good job, Nike. Nike. At first, I wasn't too sure, but I'm liking these new designs. So good job. Keep it up. I'll be getting both jerseys for sure, and maybe I'll do another review once I have them on, once I feel the texture. But good job, Nike. These will be probably the nicest jerseys at the World Cup. Like Croatia always has one of the nicest jerseys, along with Brazil, obviously, even though it's simple. Italy always has a beautiful, beautiful jersey with their beautiful blue. Germany is up, you know, it's a hit or miss. But Croatia, last few tournaments, actually for a long time, we'll always have one of the best. All right, guys. So that's it for me today. I'm looking forward to the game against Austria on Sunday. I'll do another post-game show after that game. So keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe. More videos coming up. Do widzenia. Love you all.